for me but me. If you don't know who I am, guess who I am. My name is MAEVUIM.
Virgo women, Scorpio man. Ooh, the amount of couples that I have for this one, for the examples, is outrageous. Hi, my name is MAEVUIM. I'm a singer-songwriter, so also based into astrology. So today, we're gonna do another Virgo love compatibility video. Holy fuck. We're almost done with the Virgo love compatibility. I did do Virgos and Leo. I was sitting here thinking, did I do Virgos and Leo? I did. So, if you're new to the channel, hi. I make music, but right now I'm on a hiatus. And I'm gonna make astrology content so folks can get to know me better while I learn to get to know myself and others. If you haven't already, go check out my music and all my other accolades at MAEVUIM.com. And let's continue to the video. Alright. I got Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, I think Cassie and Diddy when they were together, Nazim, Madi, and Miguel. Here's the thing. Should we just say the elephant in the room off bat? The main reason they're together because of the control tactic. And I feel like because when it comes to Virgos, nobody really talks about how they tend to lean into sadomasochistic behaviors and preferences when it comes to the interpersonal relationships. So they all come off as fluttery and finicky and fragile to the public. That's what they choose to show to everybody else. But behind the scenes, a lot of people will never really address the fact, like, y'all gets down. And probably some of the freakiest, weirdest ways possible. In a sense where it's like, you know that the opposite polarity of Virgo is Pisces, and Pisces is the sign of suffering. I don't know. Sometimes when you see Virgos themselves, they're always kind of miserable from time to time because they're dealing with so much unbalanced energy. That's why Libra is right after them, because they collect so much information, so many tiny minuscule details, and try to piece it all together to construct something nice, which more times than not it plays out in their favors. But when it comes to interpersonal relationship and romantic relationships, it's like, this is something you gotta work on in a sense, because yes, mutable earth, fixed water, and earth are complementary signs. They're sister signs, so they get along easily. Yes, I feel like when the Scorpio man is put in this compatibility, they're typically put in a position where it's like, you know, because the Virgos want to assess this individual before they get with them. And the main reason, you know, Virgos too, they tend to be sugar babies. I don't know if y'all peep that. Okay, I don't know if y'all peep that. I'm peeping it. Typically, Virgo women, because they're very domestic and feminine in that aspect, if the opportunity presents themselves to be in the soft girl life, where she doesn't have to do as much work as the man domestically to maintain the lifestyle that they have, she's taking that opportunity. But that doesn't mean she doesn't like nice things. But then also too, she might convince herself like the treatment and, you know, the negative things that aren't really discussed to the public that most women put up with behind the scenes comes with wanting to be with a person of power, in a sense, if you get what I'm saying. And more times than not, Virgos won't, they're very finicky, like saying, like, they're very traditional feminine in that sense, especially if they're a bit older, because now we're dealing with a whole new generation of people with the we're in the Gemini generation, okay? So we're dealing with folks where it's like, how do I put it? We're dealing with folks where it's like, if the couple is a younger couple between a Virgo and a Scorpio, it's more so of impulse, versus if it's a tad bit older of a couple, so like people over 30, 28, it's more so of sacrifice and compromise to make it work. I like the compatibility, don't get me wrong. I like the compatibility overall had it been a Scorpio woman, a Virgo man. But when it's a Virgo woman and a Scorpio man, it gets a little tricky because not all Virgos are feisty. It's very few. They'll tell you about your ass of that. Some, they mostly just ignore you and they play the, hey, I'm not going to stir the boat situation when it comes to dealing with conflict. But in relationships like this, typically where the man is the breadwinner, I get a little worried because she's willing to put up with whatever because she views it as like, well, I'm getting my needs met and this is just what comes with this, and I'm just gonna roll with it no matter how much it hurts me. And it's a little frustrating to see that sometimes they can definitely brainwash themselves in a sense where they want nice things, but having to put up with putting up with bullshit treatment to get it just doesn't really rub me the right way, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like in a sense, it's more so the power dynamic is what makes these two come together. Okay? I feel like it goes either way, positively or negatively. Because had this have been a Scorpio woman and a Virgo man, Scorpio women generally feel like they can run people over from time to time because they feel like they've overcame a lot, which is fine. You know, Virgos do like getting run over. Take what you want. Do what you want with that information. But the pushover tactic that Scorpios tend to use when dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, it's like the Virgo could choose when they want to be receptive towards it or not, you know, because everything happens. They view energy as currency, where it's like, okay, a nickel is a dime, they're all coins, so we're just gonna change this out to the best way possible, versus if it was like, oh, a situation came to them and the energy was heavy, like, well, there's this big energy behind this with the approach that they're giving, so let me cash out. You know what I'm saying? So I get nervous when it comes to my Virgos. I'm very protective over Virgos. Don't get it twisted, because they're very fragile and finicky. And I feel like sometimes, too, their brains can be a little bit diluted because they are a mutable sign at the end of the day. So, obviously, you know, of all the couples that I listed and how these compatibility goes. Typically with Virgos too, that's another thing. Virgo man or Virgo woman, when they're in a well invested relationship, it's hard for them to leave. Mind you, these people are not easy people to pin down in the first place. But when they're there, good luck trying to get rid of them, because it's more so of like, they do look for the soulmate situation, but it's like they're not looking to continuously, I guess, continuously construct ideas and the small little details of who you are, versus where they rather just figure you out throughout the lifeline of life while you guys are together. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing that you want to be consistent and persistent in that situation, but it's like a bad thing if you willingly choose to overlook red flags just to maintain something, which isn't always the best tactic, you know? So, and the compatibility of Virgo woman, Scorpio man, I'm personally gonna give it, I'm gonna give it 4. I know, that's pretty bad. I know they're compatible. I just would rather see a Virgo woman with anybody but a Scorpio man. You know, it's gonna suck if you really had high expectations for me to speak positive on this couple, because typically it's really like they're long-lasting couples. Most long-lasting couples, you know, are found in this compatibility. But it's like when you look at like the long-term effects of things and see how things play out, expectations just for you to overlook them because you want to sustain something and then you end up getting played in the end, it's just really not worth it. That's why I give it a 4 out of 10, because I'm seeing them with 2 out of the 3 couples that I listed, where it's like longevity was the factor, but at the end of the day, one of them never got married to somebody that they were with for 10 plus years, and they endured so much shit and the other got married to them after being with each other for a long ass time, just to get divorced for the guy to go and have a baby by somebody else. Like, that's why I'm like, I'd rather see a Virgo woman with anybody but a Scorpio, in my humble, not even my fucking humble opinion, in my most brash, honest assessment of this compatibility. So that's what I got. It's a 4 out of 10. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This was not one of my favorites to do. So that's subscribe. And let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Alright, bye.
Never been an option, never been a clown. Never been a voice that ever backs down. Never with the never with the crowd. Getting what you want, you better never back down. Get out my way.